Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting for the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and my daughter is my co-host today as we answer your questions about 888-825-5225, about your life and your money. 888-825-5225. Kevin's in Indianapolis. Whoops, that's wrong. Let me try it again. Kevin's in Indianapolis to start off this hour. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, Dave. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, got a question. My wife and I have been talking for about a week or two now. We are trying to get some stuff underway to start saving up for a mortgage on our house. Backstory is we were about 1/4 smart, 3/4 dumb. We were 1/4 smart off by living off of a $30,000 a year income on her income so I could pay my way through master's school. 3/4 dumb, we needed a reliable car, so I fell into that trap, and I bought a car years ago. Where we're at now is we owe about $21,800 left on the car. In one savings area, we have about $19,000, and another savings area have about $5,000. We are torn between being highly aggressive with that $19,000 and being mildly aggressive because we do have a 1-year-old, and we're both kind of like, do we go for the full 19 or do you go a little less? Wondering what your advice would be on that.
Did you graduate?
Yeah. Graduated, got a double year income. Right now, I bring in a 125 gross.
125? Gross,
yes.
Okay, and she's still working and she makes 30?
Yeah.
So we have a $150,000 household income.
Yeah.
A $21,000 car debt and $24,000 in your accounts.
Yes.
Okay. And what are they each saved in? What's the $19,000 in?
It's over in Capital One. It's just over there sitting in a high performance CD or high performance savings.
Okay. And then the other 5 is where?
It's just in our mutual bank account.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The five is our kind of our 3 months. We're just starting to look at your guys' stuff a little bit, and when we're looking at our numbers, the 5 is kind of our about 5 months savings. We have 1,000 emergency, but the 5,000 is about a 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. So what happened, Kevin, was when I was your age, I went broke and lost everything. Rachel was a baby and we couldn't pay the light bill. And so from that experience, I started studying what is the fastest right way to build wealth, because I had built wealth the wrong way. And that's why I lost everything. Too much debt. Mm-hmm. And in studying that and in studying people who had built wealth, I pretty quickly discovered that the people who build wealth, not the middle class and not the people who wander around in a fog with an opinion, but the people who had actually become millionaires, the vast majority of them realized that their most powerful wealth building tool was their income. None of them get rich on a high yield savings account. High yield savings account will not, cannot mathematically by definition make you rich, because you're making 3 or 4%.
Yeah,
and inflation
was making like 10%.
Inflation is 9%. Okay, right
yeah.
now. So you're going backward. All right, period. So the bottom line is this: the ones that built wealth were the ones that got out of debt and avoided debt. That put us on the journey at Ramsey 30 years ago of showing people how to get out of debt so that they can build wealth more reliably, so that they can change their family tree, so that they can be outrageously generous. Okay? So that's the premise on which we answer all of these questions. We want to take you down that path, and never in the history of man has someone keeping a $21,000 car loan around like it's a pet been a method of building wealth. Think about it.
We were really aggressive with it to start. So it was $60,000 total. I paid $40,000 in 2 years, and now we're looking at it as when we sat down and did the numbers.
Let's just say out loud that purchase was stupid.
Well, yeah.
Was way out of your budget. You said that was the 25% not smart. I'm agreeing with you. Okay,
So
I've done dumber.
75%
I've done
off
dumber.
March.
I've done dumber. But so, all of that's going to lead us to a pretty simple answer.
Yeah, which, Kevin, is to pay it off today. And then you're going to have $3,000 left as a buffer for your starter or your emergency fund in baby step 3, which is your 3 to 6 months of expenses.
But you make $150,000 a year. You should
Yeah.
be able to put several $1,000s a month in that account. And so we're not going to be at $3,000, but for 30 seconds. The end of the next month, you should be at $6,000 or $8,000. The end of the next month, you should be at $10,000 or $12,000. So we're not walking around with a 1-year-old with absolutely no money as a way of life. It's just a momentary thing here. By Christmas, you ought to have a big old pile of money, man.
And that's where we're at, where we're both, when we talk about it, we both see the, like you're saying, Dave, with the get aggressive, and in 4 months you have this, and we're both looking at the 1-year-old who does have some medical appointments coming up, going, should we be just slightly safer and span it out over a matter
You're not going to have a medical appointment unless the child has medical issues today. You're not going to have a 1-year-old medical appointment that is going to take more than $3,000.
Okay.
Unless he has some kind of, unless he's struggling with something. But I mean, if he's going in for standard checkups, it's a couple of $100, dude, and you make $150,000 a year. I think you can handle it.
So be aggressive with it, highly aggressive.
The reason would be that that's the fastest, right way for you to build wealth. Get that emergency fund in place, a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, and then with no payments at all, now we save for that house like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do it, man. I mean, you lean in on a budget.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, too, one of the mindset shifts that is important for you guys just to say out loud with you and your wife is like, okay, where we are today, we don't like it. We don't like having. We had a $60,000 car loan. Now we've taken it down to $21,000. We have some money here. We have some money there. Obviously, something is stirring in you guys that you're not content with where you are financially. There's something in you that's like, man, there could be a better way, which is why you picked up your phone and called the show, right? I mean, like there's
why
something in you.
Why you walked into the bear cage.
Bear named Dave. But so my challenge to you, Kevin, would be like, do something different. Try this way, what we're saying. And again, it's not going to put you back financially at all. You guys have a great income. You're going to be okay. And there's going to be natural fear, natural hesitation to do something that feels a little different. But what you guys have been doing, if you keep doing the same thing, you're not going to be happy with your results. So you have to do something different. Doing something different is uncomfortable, but push in, even if you're scared and uncomfortable, because you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
You're going to be fine if you pay attention and play through. Good stuff. This is The Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author multiple times over, and my daughter is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Nick is in Milwaukee. Hi, Nick. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Thank you, Dave, for taking my call.
Sure.
Hope you have a good day.
You too. How can we help?
So I have a curveball to throw to you. So we are currently in baby step 2, about $55,000 in debt that we paying off from $75,000. That's credit card bills, house improvement, and mostly medical bills. And there's like car payments involved. We've been pretty aggressive in step 2. I work about 15-hour days. My wife works full-time as well. However, we got thrown a curveball in that they just told us we have about $10,000 worth of dental work we have to do for all 3 of my teenagers because they have to all 3 of them have to get braces. The major issue is I'm a dialysis patient, so on top of this, I get medical. I'm on the transplant list, and once that happens, that's going to be an additional $400 or $500 a month that we're throwing into it just for medical bills because of the medications. So my major question is, how would we tackle this added debt for the kids' braces without having to go into even more debt to get those done? Because we have about $2,000 in our emergency medical fund or emergency fund, just so once I'm out of work for about 3 weeks, once I get the transplant, it can cover that. But with having this curveball thrown at us with the kids' braces, it's kind of put a little bit more anxiety into the mix more than there already is.
What's your household income?
Last year we brought in about $100,000 combined.
Okay. How old are your children?
My boys are turning 14 next week, and my daughter turns 13 the week after.
Okay. All right.
So I might as well have triplets.
Okay. I'm trying to think how to couch this exactly. Number one, are braces legitimate? Absolutely. Okay. I think all of our kids or several of our kids had them.
Except for me.
You didn't. Okay. Rachel or Denise and Daniel had braces. So I
Fun
remember.
fact.
I remember writing checks for this. Okay. Couldn't remember which ones it was.
Denise and Daniel did, yeah.
Yeah. They've all got great teeth, and it changed their lives. But anyway, so it's not an illegitimate request or whatever, but it's not a curveball, and it's not unexpected, and it is not an emergency. It didn't just suddenly happen last week when they went to the dentist. You may have gotten new information that made you realize you're going to have to address the issue, but the way you're using your words is as if we don't do it by the end of the month, that we're somehow going to have destroyed our children's lives, and that's simply a dentist making a sale there. That's not a reality. So if we did the braces 6 months from now, I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm certainly not an orthodontist, but I can, I suspect, common sense tells me that they'll probably still be okay. All right, that you don't have to do it in the next 10 days, but sometime in the next 10 months or 20 months we address them, and maybe we address them in, the one that's the greatest concern first, and then we don't all do all 3 at once. And so the way you're presenting this is if it's, and it's nowhere near as important or urgent as your situation is. Your situation now, I can get excited about making that a big deal, right? You follow me?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I hear you.
don't let the emotions of the teenager, yourself, your wife, the orthodontist trying to make a sale, make this a financial catastrophe that has to be addressed by the end of March, because that is simply not reality. That's after I already said this is that this is something we need to address, and I'm okay with addressing it. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying they don't need braces. I'm saying when we do it, how we do it is going to be on our schedule, not on the orthodontist schedule.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, where my brain has been freaking out, because where we've been so good going into the baby step 2, we've really been tackling it. I mean, I work like crazy hours.
So when are you going to be finished with baby step 2?
We're projecting by January of next year. That's kind of our goal. That's to get everything knocked out.
So do the braces after that.
Okay, that's kind of what we were thinking, but
And you can handle it. I mean, you pay off $50,000 between now and January. You can cover $10,000 in braces after that. You're that guy. My point is, it didn't set you back. It's something you do after baby step 2.
Okay, so use it afterwards. Okay, because that's where my brain has been freaking out. It's like, oh my God, we've added. This is thrown into the mix now. We have to get it done because I worry about them.
Well, I can hear your freak out. That's what I was addressing.
Yeah, it's not as urgent, I don't think.
As your freak out is telling you.
Yeah, I mean, if they have braces at 15 years old
and if
versus
there is
14.
one of them that is, got a real issue and 6 months is going to make a big difference, that's a possibility. I don't know. I guess it is. I mean, it might save you a year in braces if we go ahead and get it done in the fall rather than in the spring. Then let's work one of them into the budget. But to stop everything and have to do all of them this month because you got fresh information 2 days ago, nah.
Okay, that makes sense. It was just, like I said, the brain freak out was kicking in.
Well, and the dental world has in it people that have common sense and that are kind and normal and want to help and want to serve. And it also has people in it that are really good salespeople. That, and so I don't mind even getting a second opinion about this and maybe get a second. If it's a $10,000 item, I might want to get bids. Why not? It's braces. It's not like it's a commodity. I mean, I don't know. Find 3 or 4 other people and find, okay, well, this guy says you're going to be in them for 2.5 years. This gal says, using this new technique, we could be done in 9 months. I mean, you want to learn about stuff like that. I don't know, but I
and your emotion, Nick, like I get it. It's understandable. As a parent, when you go into any level of, appointment with your child and it's like, this is what's best for them. We need to do that. And if they had a sense of urgency, naturally as a parent, if you're not calming down, thinking about the logic, and having someone else speak into it, it's easy to get where you were, Nick, like when you called as a parent. But sometimes when that emotion, it clouds judgment very, very quickly. So hopefully that helps to just take I think it's the urgency part. Like, they're okay. They're okay. And God forbid, again, if nothing like crazy medically is wrong, people go without braces and then they end up getting them as adults later in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like that happens too. So they're going to be okay unless there's a more serious medical need. They're fine if they wait another year.
Yeah, I don't know, the medical things, I guess, and dentists or dental is part of that. None of us lay people know what's really going on.
So we trust them, like a mechanic. They're like, this is wrong.
The unknown of it adds drama to all of us.
Yes, any area of your life.
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, same with cars. We went out to dinner with a couple and some friends, and they were talking about they took their van in to get work, and it came back like this crazy bill of all this stuff they did, and they were like, oh my gosh. So then he like ended up kind of researching. He's like, they didn't need to do half of it. But he even admitted, he was like, I didn't know. So I was like, okay. I mean, you know cars better than I do, right? So any part of life that you feel inadequate, you trust the experts.
Well, you gotta dig in.
And so that's the point, is don't let the emotion drive the decision. Really get some data points. And I love the second opinion idea, because there's plenty of people that have different ways they do things, different timelines, and that'll give you more peace too, more information you have. There's a lot of really cool stuff that my dentist was telling me about. I mean, they're tools they use that it's an iterating, evolving industry. I'm glad you went to the dentist, Dave. It's good for me. Way to take care of yourself. Good for me, yes, that's right. This is the Ramsey Show. Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Anthony and Lauren are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
I'm very good, Dave.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Honored to be here. Thank you.
Honored to have you. Where do you live?
We're from a small town called Fremont, Ohio. It's near Toledo.
Okay, fun. Good to have you guys. So welcome to Nashville. How much debt have you paid off?
We paid off $221,000.
All right.
Wow.
How long did that take?
Took about 19 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
So we started out around 105 and then jumped up to about 280.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys do for a living?
So I'm a podiatrist.
And I stay at home with the children now.
Okay, wow, I guess
Amazing.
so. Good for you guys. So what kind of debt was the 221?
Oh, Sally Mae.
Oh, the old podiatrist bill.
point.
Yep.
I think, Lauren, that this was Anthony's fault. I could be wrong.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, so Doc ran up Doc bills.
Yes.
Okay. But then you jacked your income. How did you jack your income threefold in 19 months?
Yeah, so 105 was my first contract coming out of fellowship training. And then just as the practice got busier and, surgical volume picked up, so did the income.
Yeah, and you happen to time that right off the backside of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good, too. When people are coming out going, this is elective surgery a lot of the times, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
And so, yeah, wow, good for you
great.
guys.
Yeah.
Amazing. So how long have you been married?
So
It'll be 7 years.
7 years in May.
Okay,
Yep.
so you married him while he's going through med school then.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you guys were broke, living on student loans.
Very
and you
much
come
so.
out, but it sounds like almost immediately after coming out, you jumped on this.
Well, so we have a little bit of a longer story than that, I guess. So I first heard about you was about 7 years ago, actually in November before we got married in May. And I was on rotation in the hospital in Lima, Ohio. And we were between cases, and one of the senior residents was talking to a nurse anesthetist, and I overheard them, oh yeah, we did that. We were on beans and rice and beans, and like, okay, that's an interesting conversation over there. So I asked the senior, resident, what are you guys talking about? Oh, there's this guy. He yells at people for buying cars. It's a great show. You should check it out.
Great show. Yeah.
So I thought I could check that out. So I would practice my suturing, listening to the podcast. Actually went out and bought Total Money Makeover. And then when I went back to Lauren, we were living both in Cleveland at the time before we had got married. And I said, when we get married, we're selling your car. We're gonna get out.
Yeah, I had a couple thousand left to pay on this car.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to get rid of it right off the bat.
She's like, well, I still need something to drive. I said, oh, I guess that's a fair point. So once we got married, then we sort of combined our incomes, combined our finances. We actually paid off her car, and she's
And I had a student loan.
yeah,
a
she's
small
a
one.
hairstylist, so she had cosmetology school. We
Yeah.
paid both of those out, and then 2 weeks into our marriage, found out we were married with Ava, expecting Ava, and so we sort of went to baby step zero for about 4 years because about 15 months after Ava was born, Nora was born, and
Oh my gosh,
So-
15 months
Very quick.
apart.
yeah, it was back to back, and then we were moving around the country for my training. I trained in Indianapolis and then went to Florida for a fellowship, and so when we started out at that 105, that's after actually Will was born, and we were
Wow.
We were ready to
stable.
hammer in.
Yeah, we're ready to put down some roots, so that's when we sort of jumped out of baby step zero, and we went really hard.
So there was about 5 years there of job craziness, kid craziness. That
Yeah.
it was like, gosh, but you still kind of kept it in a sense, even though you hadn't really fully started. I know you guys paid off some of Lauren's stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like right when you got out, you're like, we are on this, which is impressive to keep that momentum of the longing to do it, right?
Yeah.
In the middle of kids and all
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
all the way to 19 months ago.
Yeah.
And then hammer down.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Good
so
for you
great.
guys.
Was it hard to be making that kind of money and continuing to live
Well,
like you were broke, on rice and beans and rice?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think the living was that hard because we were under such a fine margin for so long, and
Yeah.
then with little ones, we were sort of used to. All of the furniture in our house was hand-me-down furniture.
Yeah.
Everything was hand-me-down, so we were okay with that. But I think the hardest part was just giving so much of that money just back to the government.
Yes.
Back to the government. That was really hard. Just that was painful, shelling out all all those checks just straight to Sally Mae.
So yeah, that hurts.
Our date nights, we're going to Home Depot
Yeah.
looking at appliances that we'd want someday.
Yeah, like just dreaming, like, oh,
Dreaming,
yeah,
yeah.
someday.
Which backsplash do you want later?
What
Well,
it
that
would be
is a
like.
good point, though, because you didn't have to go backwards in lifestyle. Because for a lot of people, they're like, oh, they were living this lifestyle, and then they have to stop it, go backwards.
Yeah.
But you continued to consistently do what you guys have been doing, which is great.
And
but
then
yeah,
cranked up the income.
Oh, yeah.
And,
That's
and
awesome.
dumped it all on.
Oh,
them.
yeah. Yep.
that's awesome. Did people think you were crazy?
I'm
I
sure
feel like
they didn't.
slightly.
They didn't tell us to our face. They were nice to our face.
That's fun.
Well, that's impressive, you guys. I mean, that's
What
a
do
lot
you
of debt.
tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
We both talked about, we feel like it's mindset. You know, you have to be prepared to make all the sacrifices and know that your life is not going to be probably quite as fun as it could be.
Yeah, I think there's a quote that I heard by Pope Benedict, and he says, you know, the world will offer you comfort, but you are not built for comfort. You are built for greatness. And I feel like that, I just sort of feel like that really applies to this scenario. You're going through the discomfort now so that later you have that, and you can also be a source of comfort for others. It's just another way of saying, you know, live now like no one else so that later you can live like no one else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's Very
good.
good. Very good. Congratulations,
Thank you.
heroes.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be free?
Oh, it feels great.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of young docs your age. You're walking around. They don't even know what freedom looks like. They got so much
Yeah.
hanging around their neck, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
And you
absolutely.
just walked right past them.
Well,
You just
yeah.
did. You just blew past them, and now you got 3 little babies, and you've changed your family tree. Life is great, man.
Yeah, that,
well done, you two.
That student loan didn't fit in with our lifestyle. That's not what we wanted. So
That's awesome.
We
Had to
didn't
go.
like Sally
Had
Mae
to
in the
go.
spare bedroom. We're
That's
going to
right.
evict the old lady. Put her on the street. She's ugly. I like it. Way to go, guys. Hey, we've got the Live and Give bundle for you, the Baby Steps Millionaires book. You're going to be there in
Thank
20
you.
minutes.
Thank you.
And, of course, Total Money Makeover. You can give that to somebody if you want. And the Financial Peace University membership.
And all the babes.
Thank you.
And if you haven't
All the
been there.
babes.
So, yeah, bring the babies
Come
up
on,
and
guys.
let's see their names and ages.
So Ava is 6, Nora is 4, and Will is almost 2.
All right. Very good. Not far off of Rachel's ages.
I know.
Yeah,
It's a
the
lot.
ages of her 3.
Sweet.
Very good, you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Have Ava and Nora and William been practicing their debt-free scream?
Yes,
They
they
have.
have. Yeah, they're ready.
Are you ready, kiddos? You ready? Here we go. All right. Anthony and Lauren, Ava, Nora, and William from Fremont, Ohio. $221,000 paid off in 19 months, making 105 to 280. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free
All
scream.
right, guys, ready? 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
We're debt free!
It's the sound of a family tree being changed. Oh, we scared the little one.
William got scared. Sweet thing.
That's what it sounds like for a family tree to be changed.
Oh,
I mean,
amazing.
you make $280 a year. She's at home full time with the 3 now, and you got 0 debt. Oh my goodness!
Do a lot.
There's going to be a lot of change. There's going to be a lot of possibilities, a lot of things they can
Yeah.
do. A lot of people they'll be able to help, and certainly those 3 littles will have a completely different life because of this last 19 months of sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Very, very, very
Incredible.
well done. That's how you do it, folks. Live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. That Pope Benedict quote is really good.
It's really good. Not built for comfort, but built for greatness.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like you just want to be comfortable and you're not comfortable. The Comfort Crisis, we read that book.
Yeah.
Same idea. It's like it pushes against everything that you were actually, you really were created for on so many levels.
We have too many people searching out comfort rather than searching out greatness.
Yep.
And Michael Easter, that's the author of that book, Comfort Crisis. We're going to have him on.
Are you really?
Yeah, we're going to do an event with Mike Rowe and me and him and some
Oh,
others talking
good.
about the labor crisis in America. We'll be announcing it soon, a big big live stream coming up. This is the Ramsey Show. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. It's a free call at 888-825-5225. When was the last time you were excited about Monday? What if instead of waking up exhausted and dreading your week, you actually look forward to work because you're doing work that you love, work that mattered, work where you got traction, where you were functioning in your passions? Hey, that's why career expert and Ramsey personality Ken Coleman created the Get Clear Assessment to help you discover your top talents, passions, and a clear mission statement that'll help you find the work that the world needs you to do. When you find that, you're going to be very fulfilled, you're going to make more money, and you won't be thinking about stupid stuff like quiet quitting. Instead of reaching for communism, you'll embrace capitalism. You know, I mean, it's a good idea. When when you actually find what you love, that's what ends up happening. This week only, the assessment is $10 off. The sale ends at midnight on Friday. Get the deal today. Go to RamseySolutions.com/getclear. Now, what we know is that since the first of the year, the Ramsey Show ratings and viewership and listenership in all of our various formats are way up. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. But what that also means is there's a bunch of you that are newbies around that when we're talking in code like baby steps and debt snowballs and stuff, you don't even know what the flip we're talking about. So, because we like this tribal speak and you don't necessarily know the tribal vernacular yet. Hey, we want to help you move along your financial journey, your life journey. Go to Ramsey Solutions for free and click on the Get Started button. We'll tell you what your next step is and begin to indoctrinate you into the tribal lingo. But show you why we're doing what we're doing, and you can begin to plug into and say, this is where I am, and here's a good next move for me, and according to Ramsey, this is what I should do. Oh, I wonder if I should do that or not. And we'll show you. Get started at RamseySolutions.com. Logan is with us in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, Logan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve, sir. What's up?
Hi. Me and my wife have been kind of getting into listening to your podcast, and we're getting ready to start our debt snowball here soon. And one of the best ways obviously to help with that is to increase our income. I am currently a mailman. I make about $50,000 a year. My wife is a travel respiratory nurse. She makes anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 a year. But she's not wanting to do that for much longer because we have a 1-year-old and a newborn. So I'm thinking about trying to switch jobs possibly. One idea is like truck driving, because you can start anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000. But I'm worried about with the post office that you have benefits of a pension and your insurance, health insurance is getting paid after you retire. Our goals are to build a house one day and retire early. So I'm just trying to figure out which way, is best to take, the better pay now or to, take the long road with the post office.
If you take better pay now and spend it all, then you're going to end up with none of the things that the benefits would have done. If you take better pay now, get out of debt, and become wealthy, you can buy your own freaking health insurance.
That's kind of what I was hoping. I just didn't know, would $30,000 a year replace a pension and health insurance?
Easy.
And stuff like that.
Easy.
Okay. That's what I was worried about. I want, a good life for me and my kids. And
do you mind if I answer a question you didn't ask?
Of course.
I'll make a statement instead. I think you're taking the truck driving gig only for money, not as a long-term career goal that you think this is going to be awesome and you're going to love doing it the rest of your life.
That's probably true.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I think you can find something else that makes $80,000 that gives you a high quality of life, or makes 70 with you learning a skill that you want to do the rest of your life, and you move from 70 to 80 to 90 to 100 over time.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to take that Get Clear assessment I was just talking about a few minutes ago and think about where you want to be working. And I want you to go get your income increase, but I want it to be with something that gives you purpose, fulfillment, and then at the end of your life, you haven't dreaded Monday every day and just done your duty as a good husband and dad. And right now, that's what you're doing. You're just saying, I'm going to do my duty. My wife wants to come off the road, and I'll go handle the discomfort of being an over-the-road truck driver in order to make more money so she can do that. And you were just, you're just being a good man, and I appreciate that about you.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, but I think there's a way to do both. It's going to take more effort and a little bit more mental strain for you to think through it and figure it out. It's not as obvious as just going, oh, I can make more money doing that. I'm going to go do that. But that's going to get old fast, man.
Do you have anything, Logan, in like a dream world? Have you even let yourself go there of, man, what if one day I could do X, Y, or Z?
If you could do anything
Not
you wanted to
anymore.
do and money wasn't a problem, what would you do?
If money wasn't a problem and I had the time to go back to school, I'd love to be like a psychologist or a lawyer. But that's a lot of money, and that's 7-8 years of school.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're right about both.
But there's something in those. Is it helping people? What in those careers is it that you find interesting?
I think I just love the mental aspect of it.
The mental, yeah.
Just understanding people and why they do things, and I'm always. I'm not saying I like to argue, but I'll play devil's advocate in like a debate with somebody just for the fun of it.
I don't know anybody like that.
So, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, the same kinds of things motivate me exactly, and that's how I end up here in a weird way. But so it may be that there's other ways you can manifest those exact same desires other than two careers that have long education paths to them.
Yeah, and I would say, though, too, Logan, in the meantime, and your wife's home with a toddler and a new baby, and I know jumping from job to job isn't ideal, but if you guys were in a more urgent situation, for me, driving for 6 months while you figure out the long-term plan could still be in play just to get her home. Like, if that was something that you wanted.
Okay, but I wouldn't say, let's just sign up with this with no exit strategy.
I would have a goal.
I want an exit strategy.
Yes. But in the meantime, as you call our show today, if you guys don't want to wait 6-9 months till you figure something out, if there was a quick move you both wanted to make sooner, you could do something in the interim until you really found that thing that I could do this.
Yeah, as a step, absolutely. So, Austin, we're going to have you pick up and give Logan the Paycheck to Purpose book and the Get Clear assessment, because I just told a truck driver he needed an exit strategy. So,
a mailman.
Well, he said he's going to be a truck driver, though.
Oh, he will be a truck driver.
He'll be getting off at the exit. I can just tell you. So, okay.
I'm glad I missed it. That makes me feel like I'm enough plugged in.
You're part
to
of the family.
Jokes.
You're part of the family if you missed it, because I missed it until it came out of my mouth. But you got to love it. All right, I am well known for those wrong metaphors at exactly the wrong time. So it's kind of a classic Dave move. Open phones here if you want to talk about your life and your money. 888-825-5225. Thank you for jumping in. Rachel, I think it's important to reiterate for everyone. I remember Earl Nightingale, who did the talk, The Strangest Secret, many, many years ago, with that baritone voice. He would say, too many people spend more time picking out a suit of clothes than they do their career. And you're going to spend the next 30 or 40 years, maybe, at least some kind of version of what what road you start down. And so don't just pick something for the money. And the other assumption you can't make is that just because you're doing something you love, you have to make less. I don't know where that comes from. It comes from the same place that as soon as I get laid off, the next job I get, I'm going to make less. Why don't we assume we're going to make more? And why not, if you were doing something you loved, would you not be more enthusiastic, more creative, more engaged, and work harder at something you love, and therefore end up making more? But we think we have to go work for Mother Teresa or something, or go in the nonprofit and the Peace Corps in order to be doing something holy, or be doing something that is of meaning or purpose, and that's just absolute bull.
Just wrong. Yep.
So don't assume less. Assume more. And that's not some kind of prosperity or abundance thing. It's just factual. I mean, if you're better at something because you love it, you should make more at it. Hello. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps,
Go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author multiple times. My daughter is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life, your money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Valerie is in Oakland, California. Hi, Valerie. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. Thank you for taking my call. It's a pleasure to be on with you today.
Thank you. How can we help?
So I was recently in a car accident that totaled my car, or they're writing it off.
Wow. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine and grateful to be just to be alive. So they're writing my car off and offering me $15. So I use my car for work, and I'm a physical therapist that does home care. So I need a really reliable car, and of course my car was paid for. I'm on baby step number 4. I have no debt. I was working on my emergency fund. I have about $11,000 in it, trying to get to 25. And I don't know what to do about a vehicle now. Of course, I have a rental until the end of the month, but just feeling pressured to make a decision.
Well, you were driving a $15,000 car, and you have a $15,000 check. You go buy a $15,000 car.
Yeah, it's not going to have all the bells and whistles.
It's the same car. That car should have a market value that was totaled of $15,000 if you're getting a $15,000 check. You should be able to buy that car again.
Right. I can't find that car again. It was a 2014 Toyota Camry, fully loaded.
There's millions of 2014 Toyota Camrys. If there's anything in the United States, it's Toyota Camrys. This is not exactly a rare vehicle.
Okay, but I've only got like 2 weeks to find one, and I've been searching. I just haven't been able to find one.
Okay, but I mean, you can find a car for $15,000 that is comparable in equipment, reliability, quality, miles to the one that was totaled.
All right.
We know that because they gave you a market value of they have to pay you by the terms of the auto policy market value for the car. So if you had sold your car, you would have sold for $15,000.
Okay, but I was working a plan though. So now I don't know. It's just an inconvenience, I guess.
It is. It's a huge inconvenience.
It is. Valerie, is the timelines what's stressing you out? Because you're like, I'm researching, but I have 2 more weeks. I'm assuming till your rental is up.
Right. I've got 2 more weeks for my rental.
How about this, Valerie? What if you paid 1 more month of a rental, and you said, or an extra week of that, just to give you some breathing room to be able to find this, because you should be able to find it.
Yeah. So, Valerie, let me tell you what's happening, okay, and what I'm pushing against, and this is why it's messing with you. I've not been fair.
Okay.
I'm going to be fair now. I'm going to tell you what's going on, okay? Almost every time for 30 years I've talked to someone in your situation, for some reason the human brain says we need to move up in car. We need to celebrate the fact that our car was totaled by getting a much better car. And so you've been out looking at new cars.
Well, I wasn't intending to look at new cars.
But they jumped in front of you when you were going down the road. That car dealer lot is swung around at the traffic light, and there it was in front of you.
Right, but I was looking for a used car on that car lot, and today they're telling me that the used cars are costing more than the new cars.
Yeah, this would be who that told you that? The new car dealer.
Right.
That's a bunch of crap. Okay, that was true for about 5 months during the back end of the pandemic when the Mississippi ran backward and used cars went up in value. It's the only time in history those two things have happened in 1 year. It's absolutely a miracle. The Red Sea parted that year too. So, but no, it's not. Used cars are not do not cost as much as new cars. That's not true anymore. It was true for 20 seconds, and it's not true anymore. So, if you ask a new car dealer if you need a new car, that's like asking a dog if it's hungry. Okay. So no, you need to go look for used cars. You need to jump on Auto Trader, some of these other things.
And I wouldn't even go to a dealership. I would just look online.
Yes.
Just to be able to not have the emotion of being there on the car lot. Just go do some research online.
I want you to fight with yourself about the idea of an upgrade, because there's something about the human brain that says when we total our car, we have to get an upgrade. And that's why I was wearing you out about the value of your car a while ago, because I was trying to break through that in your brain, because it does. All human brains seem to do it. I've noticed it. But it's like, okay, time to get another car. Oh, let's get a better one, And so there's something about the trauma that you've been through with the car wreck. There's something about this. I didn't want to deal with all this. Now I got to deal with it. So while I'm at it, now it's an emergency for me to have a $20,000 car instead of a $15,000 car. So I'm going to pull $5,000 out of my emergency fund, which you should never use your emergency fund for something that is not an emergency. That's why we call it an emergency fund. And so, this is but there's something about that. So I'm just
That's a good point, because
I'm just trying to rattle you a little bit, Valerie, and say, hey, go find a $15,000 car. And then you're right back on track.
Yeah, because I was sensing a little bit of this urgency and panic and frozenness of the timeline of like, I only have 2 more weeks. So giving her that extra week might calm her. But I think you're spot on, because especially if she's already looked at new cars, she said the bells the bells and the whistles, like she said, and not that you can never have a nice car too, Valerie. Like, make that a goal. That's part of this plan. Once you get your emergency fund and you move on to baby steps 4 through 6 and you do some stuff, you could step up in car then. I mean, it's not like you'll always have to drive a $15,000 car, but for now, it's going to be the wisest move to continue to go down the baby steps.
And let's just say out loud that a $15,000 car today is so much better than anything I drove for the first 30 years of my life. I mean, the quality of the vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of life left in the vehicle was more than a new car in 1974 had. I mean, it was, so they don't make them like they used to. Thank God. I've got a 1960 Corvette, and it is cute, and it's a frame-up retro, and we put a new engine and drivetrain in it, so it's got a good engine and drivetrain in it. But you can't stop the thing in a 10-acre field with those dadgum horrible 1960 brakes. They don't make them like they used to. Thank God. Every time I go around a corner, it corners 3 times. It's a marshmallow, and it's supposed to be a sports car. So it's cute, and it's an antique, but this, the $15,000 car in today's world is
amazing.
Dadgum nice car. I mean, it's you're going to be okay, everybody. You too, Valerie, but everybody out there. Just this idea, I got to have a $40,000 car to be subsisting or something it's America crazy. This is The Ramsey Show. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions of your life. You need a partner like Churchill Mortgage. Churchill is one of the highest rated lenders in the country, and they're Ramsey trusted because they do what's right for you. Churchill works with you to build a mortgage the Ramsey way, one that doesn't bust your budget, sets you up for financial success, and helps you get out of debt faster. Go to churchillmortgage.com today and get started. Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. It is a free call. Hey, guys, if you want to help us out, we can use the help. And some of you have been doing that, and we appreciate it. #1, you can share the show. If by telling somebody that you listen to it on the radio or watch it on television, or if you want to share your YouTube link or your Spotify or your Apple podcast link, or talk about where you listen to talk radio, whatever it is, share it. Tell people about it. Help us, help us, help us, help us. We are not spending $300 million a year on marketing, and we don't have a football stadium like SoFi. I'm sorry, I got allergies. And so we don't have anything like that. So the only thing we can depend on is you guys to help us spread the word. And it's working when you spread the word. And leave a 5-star review soon. Like today, tell people you love the show. If you want to do a 1-star review, there's other shows I can direct you to. Because if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. That's what Mama said. So there you go. And of course, we also want you to follow the show. Subscribe if you're in a digital format like a podcast or YouTube. If you subscribe or you follow, it helps the algorithm and drives it as well. So we're moving on up. The marketing team, the radio guys, the broadcast guys, their goal is for us to be in the top 10 of all Apple podcasts. We are at Lucky 13 today.
Oh.
Lucky 13 of all podcasts in the world. There's 2.5-3 million of them, and we're number 13. Lucky 13. But really, I mean, we shouldn't probably hover there. I'd probably rather be 15 than 13, and I'd really rather
always a scary number.
I'd really rather be 5. There you go. So let's get back. Let's get in the top 10. I mean, it's working for us. It's good, but you guys spreading the word. This is what does it. Thank you for that. Our question of the day comes from our sponsor, Neighborly. Great company. They're your hub for home services. When you need to make repairs, schedule routine maintenance, or find local help on improvement projects, Neighborly is your source for reliable home service providers in your area. Things like Mr. Electric or Mr. Rooter or Molly Maid. Go to neighborly.com and start your search.
So today's question comes from Jonathan in Kansas. We have some money that we are waiting to invest in silver or gold. Some people are saying that the centralized banking may fall apart and gold might actually become the standard again. What do you think of that?
I think some people spend too much time on the internet. Everything that's on the internet is true. Though. Abraham Lincoln said that.
It's every, oh my gosh.
Every conspiracy theory in the world.
No, but seriously though, it is. It's always there though. I mean, like gold is all. It's been a fear type of idea. You need to invest in it. You need to get it because of the fear of everything is going to crash.
Yeah. And let's address 2 different subjects here. Okay. One is we have some money. We're waiting to invest in gold or silver. Okay. First, we'll address that one. Okay. Never invest in gold or silver. Okay. The way you pick an investment is you look at the track record of the rate of return of the investment. So if you're going to buy a house for investment and the area around the house is blighted, crime-ridden, full of trash, and the values are going down because the neighborhood sucks, that's the track record of the neighborhood. Common sense would tell you, don't buy a house there. Right?
Yep.
You look and see, are the homes well kept or are the cars up on blocks? You know, you look and see, is every other house foreclosed on the street and boarded up and codes and rat infested? You don't buy on that street. You look at the track record. You look at the track record of a mutual fund. It's been open 30 years. It's averaged 12.2%. That's a good track record, right? But I look at the track record of cryptocurrency. Full of fraud, sucks. Most everybody lost everything. You look at the track record of Bernie Madoff. Really bad idea. Everybody lost all of their money. You got conned. You look at the track record of gold. For the last 60 years, it has averaged around 2% a year. That sucks. It's not magic because it's gold. It's an investment. Silver the same way. Horrible rates of return over a lifespan of investing. Yeah, there's been little blips based on fear or greed, but gold sucks. as an investment. Well, what if the central bank's not coming back, you conspiracy bozos. If the central bank collapses in America, you need bullets. You don't need gold. Because all hell's going to break loose.
I was going to say bottled water.
Bottled water and bullets. And I'll take your bottled water if I've got bullets. So, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's going to be anarchy, right?
I was going to say.
If the central bank collapses, every business that you can name right now that you're familiar with will have gone away simultaneously. I mean, it's similar to a nuclear winter.
Right.
Okay, You're going to have a whole new government. You're going to have a whole reset of the property rights and economy. This is not like gold is going to help you in that. No, it's not. So the central bank is not going to collapse. Oh, my God. Just because one bunch of Duber venture capitalists and startup tech guys ran their little San Francisco bank into the Bay does not mean the central bank is in trouble. Because it's not, boys and girls. It's not. So, two things. Don't get into conspiracy theories because it leads you into stupid butt investments like gold.
You can get into them, but just
can get into them.
Listen and be entertained, but don't make your financial decisions based on them.
Okay. But these were all about decisions. These are all about financial decisions.
That's right. We don't want to do financial decisions.
For those of you that are new to the show, Rachel is our resident conspiracy theory queen. She believes things that most normal humans don't believe. But she loves discussing them.
What I said 2 or 3 years ago is now fact. So I'm just telling you.
Well, when it comes to COVID conspiracy theories, they've all turned out to be fact.
No, it's not just that. It's a bunch of other stuff. It's a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Bunch of other stuff.
Okay, there we go.
We could have a whole show, Dave. Let us have a podcast, please. People have been begging for
as long as you don't do it on this show, you can have a podcast. You go do your own little podcast, and you can do that over there in the corner. We're not going to do that to this show. This show works.
Oh my. Hey,
all of you that want Rachel to do a conspiracy. What's that? Stranger Things by Rachel.
No, not true.
Weird stuff by Rachel.
Weird stuff.
Conspiracy theories by Rachel, and have George on because George.
They'll listen. They'll listen. Look at them. Look, how many of y'all would listen?
The weird people in the lobby that'll listen. Raise your hand. There's a bunch of weird people in the lobby.
It's because some of it is true. Some of it is very true. It is.
It's true.
It is.
Area 51. Yeah, this is so great.
We
get sidetracked.
That's like amateur.
Welcome to Thanksgiving at the Ramseys.
That
Open phones at 888-825-5225. Brandon is in Milwaukee. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
So I got a little bit of a debate with my wife. So I'm kind of new to the Ramsey life. She is a Ramsey. She listens to the podcast. So she doesn't know I'm calling in case I'm wrong. So we own our primary residence outright. And then we have 5 duplexes, and our principal, interest, taxes, insurance, everything is $2,300 a month for all of them.
What are the debt? How much debt on the 5 duplexes? Total debt?
Like $280, I believe.
What's the total value on the 5 duplexes?
$600-ish.
Okay, so you got about 50%. You got a little over a 50% equity position. Well done. How can we help?
Yeah. So she says that you say we should only buy rentals in cash.
Absolutely.
But I thought I heard you say that as long as our mortgage is under 25% of our take-home...
That would not be your rental. That would be your home. You should only buy rentals in cash. I own several $100 million worth of real estate.
Should he keep them and pay them off?
Yeah, as far as these things go, I'd get them paid off in 3 years, or I'd sell one to be able to do that. But pick out one you don't like and sell it and get yourself out of debt. You get out of debt, dude, you're going to make more money in real estate than you ever made in your life. It'll be the best thing ever happened to you. We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Well, you guys, I can't even explain how excited I am for the new Money and Marriage Getaway event here in Nashville, Tennessee on October 19th through the 21st. So we have a full weekend planned for you and your spouse, and it's going to be so much fun. You don't want to miss it. And here's the thing, that life is crazy, and it's really hard to find time for just you and your spouse. So we wanted to give you a chance to unplug from your day-to-day life, come to Nashville, have a little weekend getaway, and focus on your marriage. So Dr. John Deloney and myself are going to coach you on all different things around your marriage, including your money and budgeting with your spouse. You're going to learn new ways to communicate that will make better connection, and you'll get realigned on the stuff that really matters so that you have a stronger future going forward in your marriage. So this isn't just a typical marriage conference. We have an amazing date night experience planned for you, plus time to reflect with your spouse and apply everything that you are learning to your marriage. So we've got a lot planned for you, a lot of good food, fun surprises, and you can get early bird pricing on all of it for just $699 a couple. So you guys, that is a deal for the entire weekend. That's the price. So talk to your spouse and then go to RamseySolutions.com/events to get your tickets to the Money and Marriage Getaway here in Nashville, Tennessee in October.
This will be held at the brand new Ramsey Event Center, which we opened this week.
Today, so, yeah. Yeah, we had a big kickoff.
Today was our first big meeting up there. We had a Ramsey team devotional up there, and it was pretty incredible. Michael W. Smith hung out with us and led us in some praise and worship, and Dr. Michael Easley spoke, and it was a pretty special morning, thanks to some of our really good friends here in the area. So come out, make sure if you're in town, we're doing one of these events at the Ramsey Event Center, you're going to want to see it. It's a pretty extraordinary building, and we're really, really proud of it.
And it's just a fun place to host these events, so you're going to enjoy it.
This marriage and money thing is going to be great there. It's perfect for that. All right, up next is going to be Elizabeth in Grand Rapids. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and Rachel. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my husband and I right now own our home and our own business, a construction business that we do seasonally. And this is our first year owning our own company. We made about $150 net income.
Wow.
And now my dad has asked us if we want to buy the family business, which is about an hour and a half away. We haven't ever had any debt, and the business would be to buy that about $1 million, and then eventually to buy the property is about $3.1 million. And we're not sure if we should do it or not. I think the family business is something my husband would enjoy doing, and it's definitely a lot less physically demanding right now with our construction business. It is a physical job, so it could get harder long term.
How old are you guys?
We're 34.
Okay.
What kind of business is it?
They sell like industrial equipment, like forklifts.
Okay. One of my best friends is in that business. Okay.
And that business, the past 2 years, has made about $500 net income. On like a low year, $200.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And on average of the last 3 years, well, the last 3 years are weird, but In a normal world, the average of the last 3 years times about 4 is about what it's worth. So that's probably not a bad valuation on it. So how much do you guys know about the inner workings of the business?
We know quite a bit. Like, once our job's only seasonal, during the winter, sometimes my husband will go, like, step in for my dad so he can go on vacation. So he's able to do that.
Am I right? I think I remember hearing that most of the money is made on the service and the ongoing maintenance and issues around the equipment more than it is on the actual sale of the equipment. The margins on the actual sale aren't that great.
He makes most of his on the sale, I would say, because he's more in the refurbishing and reselling.
Okay, so he's reselling used stuff instead of new. Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool.
A lot of it. Some new, too. New and used.
All right. Well, I think the things you guys have to ask yourself first, the reason I'm asking these questions are the questions you need to be asking yourself. A, do you want to do this for the rest of your life? Just because it's available doesn't mean it's the right thing. Mm-hmm. Okay? And do you want to live in that town? An hour and a half away. Is that where you want to live? Is that where you want to have your life? Because the answer until today was no. You wanted to live in Grand Rapids and you wanted to run a construction business until today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And be careful that, it's something that your dad wants, is you do it for that reason. You don't want to do it at all for that reason, dumb reason. We work on that around Ramsey all the time. Don't do something just because Dave wants you to do it. You got to do something because God calls you to do it. It's because it's what you're supposed to do. It's what you're wired to do. It's what you're designed to do. You're going to love doing it. Because business is too dadgum hard.
Would your dad still be in the business, Elizabeth?
No, he would like to retire, but my brother does work there, and he would still.
Why doesn't he buy it?
It's too much responsibility for him.
Your brother's not reliable?
Not really, no, not as reliable as...
So what's going to happen to your family when you fire him? Because it doesn't sound like he needs to be working there.
He does sales right now and works on commission.
Yeah, but he's not reliable.
He's reliable, and he can do that. He does that well. But owning the business and doing...
Okay, so now we got another thing you got to work through is, A, what are we going to do with him? And B, how are we going to manage that relationship as you're his new boss?
Yes, I agree.
That's a thing.
Is one of my concerns.
That's a thing, okay?
Yeah.
But now, let's back up then. So the valuation doesn't sound bad. The real estate's a separate transaction. That doesn't sound bad. You can sign a lease guaranteeing that your father-in-law or your father doesn't lose his mind on rent and run you out of business with that. So you lock down the property like you would if it was a different landlord. You'd have a long-term lease on the property so you could have a stabilized business, right?
Yes.
And a lease with an option to purchase. So a lease with an option to purchase on the real estate. No, I'm not going into debt $1 million to buy this, under no circumstances. What I would do is this. I would work for pennies in the business, as little as your family can get by on, and give your dad, in other words, if we figure out that the thing's making $500,000 and you guys are going to take $50,000 out of it and live on $50,000 a year and give him everything over that until we get to $1 million.
Mm-hmm. And he said we can pay him.
No. I don't care what he said. I'm setting the deal up, and it's going to be on paper, in writing, that all of his income up to $1 million for the valuation of the business comes to him from profit above $50,000, and you live on $50,000 or whatever number you set. And so if there is no profit above $50,000, he gets nothing that year.
Mm-hmm.
That's this deal. Because otherwise you are in debt to him and you are going to mess this up. It's going to be a problem. It's not going to be run like he wants it. He's going to want to put his hands back on it, and you're going to have a former owner walking back through the place with his muddy boots while you're trying to take over leadership. Can you tell I've done this before?
Yeah, no, I'm worried about that too.
Yeah, because your dad started this, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Second generation?
He bought it in, say, his late 40s.
Okay. All right. So we have to have some clear boundaries, and the deal has to be in writing as if it wasn't family.
Mm-hmm.
And don't half but do your business dealings because it's family, because you end up destroying family.
Mm-hmm.
So you should understand the structure of what I'm saying. He can have all the profits above X until we get to $1 million. It sounds like you could pay him out in about 3 or 4 years.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you did that. But if there's no profits because there's a pandemic or something, then you're not out of business and your father's not foreclosing on you. Because, well, I worked my whole life and I deserve my money. I don't want to hear this crap, okay? I don't want to hear it at all. Because this is our deal. Profits is where you get your money from. No profits, no money. And that includes if the ne'er-do-well brother doesn't do his job, so we don't have profits. Doesn't make any sales. By the way, you're a sales guy. This is The Ramsey Show. Thanks for joining us, America. Rachel Cruz, #1 best-selling author, and my daughter is my co-host today. Elise is with us in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Elise. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Rachel. Thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm kind of in an interesting situation. I recently finalized a divorce. I have about $150,000 cash on hand as a result from the sale of our home. And I am not sure if I should put it into retirement. I only have about $7,000 in a rollover IRA, or do I put all that towards the down payment of a house in the somewhat near future? I kind of don't really know what to do or where to start.
How old are you?
I will be 33 this year.
How long were you married?
It would have been 6 years last week.
What happened?
Infidelity, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, thank you.
Okay, generally speaking, you're in a position right now because you've been through hell. Traumatized. Yeah. Traumatized would be the technical term, right? And Dr. John Deloney would say that when you have your trust and your confidence violated, it takes some of your self-confidence away, the ability to believe in yourself, to trust. I trusted him, so I must not know how to do this right, kind of. It takes some of your confidence away. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I've been sitting with this money for about almost a year now, and I've really I've been kind of scared to do anything with it, if I'm honest.
You don't trust yourself like you used to before the garbage. And that would be like a normal human thing, by the way, okay? The good news is you'll heal from that, and you will begin to trust yourself, and you'll begin to discover that actually you are very trustworthy. It's him that wasn't. It'll occur to you, and you'll start the emotional healing. I'm quoting Dr. Deloney now, okay? This is not. I'm not an expert on this, but it's also kind of common relational sense, and it's stuff you've been living in. So I'm so sorry for your heart broken. That's just an awful thing you've been through. So,
for sure.
So, no, it is not a retirement thing. If you want to own a house right now, yeah, that'd be okay. Buy you a house. Put that as your down payment. But there's not a law that says you have to buy a house right now. I mean, you can put the money in a simple. If you want to say, I'm going to take 3 years and I'm going to put it in a mutual fund and I'm going to go backpack Europe. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. But you know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm not doing that. But sounds like a lot of work to me. But But people do that thing. I've heard. So it's what do you do for a living?
I'm an account manager for a tech startup.
Okay. Have you got family in your area?
Yeah, I'm really blessed to have my parents about 45 minutes up the road. I've got great friends here. Love Charlotte, never leaving.
So you got a good environment to work through this, shovel this garbage out, right?
Oh, yeah. I've been very well supported, and I've listened to probably 10,000 hours of Dr. Deloney to get me through the past 2 years.
Okay. Well, you knew what I was going to say then. Look at that. Okay. Did I quote him right?
No, you did. You did perfect.
Okay, good. Because you probably listen to him as much as I do then. Okay. All right. So, I just don't want you to feel forced to do something like by some financial rule that doesn't exist in your head. Like, if I don't invest this, I'm a horrible person and I'm stupid. No, that's just not true. You're in a transition period, and parking money in a transition period is a normal thing. So if you want to buy a house, I'd probably buy a house. But if you don't, if you want to just put it in a CD and say, I'm going to just kind of coast for a little while longer and enjoy the ride a little bit, and then I'll buy a house. I don't know. Rachel, what are your...
Yeah, how long have you guys been separated, Elise? How long have you been on your own?
I've been on my own for almost 2 years now.
Almost. Okay. So the divorce took that long, and then it's been finalized. So now you're ready to make that next step. So is owning a home something is that a goal for you here soon? Is it something that you would love to do?
Yeah, I think with rent in Charlotte, I'm sure anybody that's in Charlotte listening right now can attest to it. Rent's just so crazy, and I think after being a homeowner for so long, I can't stand to. I feel like I'm throwing my money away.
Okay. Here's what I would suggest, though. I would suggest buying a home that is not unique. It's not special. It's not weird. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath on a street with houses with 3 and 4 bedrooms and 2 baths. It's a house that's very predictable. And the reason for that is you can sell it if you want to move on with another stage of your life 5 years from now. But for now, you can scratch the home ownership itch, get back in the game, so to speak, and just go buy something on a nice, even a condo, but something that's very predictable, that it's going to be easy to sell because it's good market. But if you get this weird little thing that's special and there's only 4 people on the planet that like it and you're one of them, then you got a hard time getting out of it later. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel like you called me pretty well. Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, just get something that's kind of a little bit generic, and you put paint colors or decorating that gives your personality, but it doesn't have to be weird to show off or something right now. Because that's the other thing is I predict that 5 years from today, your life is going to be completely different, and you're probably not going to be living in this house. I want to give you a way out of this house that's very predictable, and you will have enjoyed the investment of real estate because you can sell it for a profit.
Yeah, and I think making a move, Elise, since it's been 2 years, you've been on your own for 2 years.
Yeah,
there is a confidence boost there that I think is great. I think putting this down on a home of something that you love, that's yours, there's a sense of dignity that's kind of restored in that. And so I'm a huge fan. I wouldn't rush into it if there's something that you don't absolutely love.
If you want to buy it because you want to own a house, fine, but not because I feel this social pressure that I'm wasting money or I'm dumb if I don't get this money invested or something. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to feel pressured. But if you want to go take your time, select a good house that is marketable when you get ready to resell it so you can make a good profit, and you're not trapped in the silly thing, then I definitely would do that. No question about it. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Rachel, it's good to remember for everyone out there, and her case illustrates that personal finance is more personal than it is finance. And what that means is not that you get to customize the law of gravity. You don't. Principles are principles. But it means that your given situation right now might dictate a different angle on a traditional financial situation.
Yeah.
And so if you've lost a spouse, You don't need to rush out and be suddenly a great mutual fund investor. You know, if you're brand new out of college and you're getting married in 5 months and you want to go buy a house and she's never seen it, dumb idea. You know, so that personal situation changes what normally would be a good idea to buy a home for a young couple, if you can afford it and you're in good faith. But it changes it situational.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as well, seasons change so fast in life. And I feel like that's even something that I'm running into with our season of life with kids. And we have friends that are now upgrading homes because they've finalized their family and now they're like, okay, we need some more space and some more room. So just how quickly things change as well, just keeping that in mind, I think allows you to make decisions with a little bit more of that flexibility. So even in her case,
you call it finalizing your family. I didn't know that's what you called it.
I don't know.
I've had some family I wanted to finalize.
Ours is finalized. I can tell you that. We're having 3 kids.
And we're done. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods of Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. This is a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. We are going to talk to real millionaires, not your broke brother-in-law with an opinion who votes wrong. Real millionaires. We're going to talk to people who really have money, got it, and kept it, and learn how they did it, what did they do, so that you can be like them. See, the problem with this whole millionaire thing is all of this wealth thing is half of the information out there running around is mythology. Let me just help you with this. Rachel Cruz, by the way, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, my co-host for this Baby Steps Millionaire theme hour. If you are a millionaire, a net worth millionaire, which is the only kind of millionaire there is, that means your net worth is $1 million or more. Net worth is defined as what you own minus what you owe equals $1 million or more. Your assets minus your liabilities. When that is $1 million or more, well, that's too much money. This is not a moral construct. It's a math thing. Well, no one should have $1 million. Well, we're not asking your opinion about that. All we're saying is it's a math thing. Well, it doesn't feel like it's enough. It's not a feeling. It's a math thing. If you have a $1 million net worth or more, by definition, you are a millionaire. I don't even care if you feel like it or not. You are. It's not a feeling. It's not a moral construct. It's a math thing. It's an accounting entry. And so that's all it is. But it is a milestone and an indicator of becoming wealthy. And Rachel, the greatest mythology spreading around our culture today, and sadly it's taken root to the point that a lot of people who are otherwise intelligent believe the lie, and I think it's because they just choose to, that all wealth today is inherited.
Yeah, I feel like that's a mindset that's been around for a long time, that if you're wealthy, it just happens. Because you were a trust fund baby, it was given to you somehow. And in the millionaire study, it's 79%.
Received absolutely zero inheritance.
Nothing.
Another 5% received an inheritance, but it was not enough mathematically to make them millionaires. In other words, grandma left them $5,000. Okay, that doesn't make you a millionaire, but yes, you did get an inheritance. Another 5% received substantial money, like $250,000, after they were already millionaires. So 5 and 79 would be called 89. That's 9 out of 10 millionaires mathematically are not millionaires because of an inheritance. And that's from the largest airtight piece of research largest study ever done on millionaires in North America that Ramsey Research did. And we had an outside research firm look over our shoulder to make sure we're right because we knew the communists wouldn't like the answers. The wealth inequality people, okay? And so, well, it's not fair. Well, fair is where the tilt-a-whirl and the cotton candy are, okay? Fair is those guys got up, left the cave, killed something, and drug it home. They did not inherit it. I'm sorry if you don't like that. Call the wambulance. That's how it really works out here in the real world. Now, that's who we want to talk to. But if you inherited the million, I'll talk to you. If you hit the lottery yesterday, God help you, but I'll talk to you. Okay? I don't care where your million came from. We want to talk to you because we want to find out your story and share it with people because it inspires people to let them know it really is happening in America today. As best we can determine, there's somewhere around 12 to 15 million millionaires in America today. It's pretty substantial.
And it's just a little over 3,000 billionaires in the world. I read that stat, which I thought was interesting.
But a billionaire is way different than a millionaire.
If some billionaires listening right now, call in, please.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to a billionaire. They're fun. But a billion's 1,000 million.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay? So if you have $100,000, you're light years closer to being a millionaire than a millionaire is to being a billionaire. You're 1/10 of the way there. They're 1/1000th of the way there.
Do you know what's funny about this mindset, though, around millionaires? I don't know if you feel this way, but just even on social media or like when I just hear conversations around millionaires, I feel like I find it's either no one can do it, the middle class can't get ahead, there's no possibility that you can live in today's world because of the math that if you made, X, 70, 80,
all the
90.
prosperity is gone and I missed it.
And that, you just can't afford things anymore. There's no way you can save. Mathematically, it won't work. It's either that or people are like, $1 million, that's not a lot. I need more. And it's these people that are in like crazy real estate investing and they're like, you can have $200 million. It's this like,
oh, you're talking about Tic Tac now.
And it's like inflated that it's that millionaire is just not, that's not enough. You need to be like a decamillionaire. And they keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
So it's just so funny, the mindset. I'm like, I just feel like I hear from both camps.
Yeah, and
so frequently.
And both of them are wrong.
Yeah. Versus, and again, the people that actually believe it and are doing the steady investing, they're paying off their house, they're becoming wealthy over a slow period of time. They're just not the ones commenting.
The stuff we teach will lead you to a $1 to a $10 million net worth, depending on your situation. It will not cause you to be a billionaire. You cannot be a 401k billionaire. It's not mathematically possible.
Yeah.
Okay? It's impossible. But the vast majority of the millionaires we studied were a paid-off home, $500,000-$600,000, and $900 or $800 or $1.2 million in their 401k and mutual funds. And they're 40, 50 years old. And so they've got $1.5 million net worth, and it's a $500,000 paid for house and $1 million in mutual funds. And almost all of them fell in that category. I mean, very, very few, hit the lottery. I'm this or that. Now, listen, if you want to be a billionaire, I mean, we're talking about most of the time you own or you grew and sold off a business. And that's Oprah is a billionaire. Okay. But it has nothing
Jay-Z.
to do with, has nothing to do with being on the, Beyonce is a billionaire. But it has nothing to do, I spoke for 84 Lumber the other day. The lady that owns that, second generation, $1.4 billion net worth.
Oh, wow.
57 years old. But that's the value of 84 Lumber. It's a family business, and it's huge. 250 stores, okay? $9 billion in revenue. So, but that's not your 401k. But that's a billionaire, which is way different. I mean, millionaires, they don't have jets, okay? The $1 to $5 million, you don't need to spend $600,000 on a jet. That's a bad idea. So you got somebody got a jet, that's a billionaire or hundreds of millions, right? They don't have 8 cars. They got 2, most millionaires. Okay, so this is the difference in a millionaire and a billionaire. When you adjust that in your mind, then you go, okay, yeah, I would like to do more than $1 million. Sure, I'd like to do more than 10 million, like your guys on TikTok that were saying, right? Mm-hmm. But this idea that somehow you got to go crazy and do stupid butt stuff to get there, that's a bad idea. So we're going to talk to real millionaires this hour, because we know it's not from an inheritance on average, and we do know it's basic investing on average, but I want to hear it from real people. And regardless of your story, whether your story lines up with that or not, we want to talk to you. 888-825-5225. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Guys, if you're coming around Nashville, stop by Ramsey Solutions. We've got a wonderful visitor center area you can walk through, bookstore, free cookies. Oh, they're good. And coffee. And you can watch the show. We do the show on the glass every day from 1 to 4 Central Time, and we'd love to have you. We always go out at the commercial breaks, or some of the commercial breaks, and sign books and have pictures with folks, and there's generally 50 to a couple of hundred people, depending on the season, hanging out with us out there. I talked to a guy named Jim out there a minute ago, $2.7 million net worth, all in a paid-for house and in his retirement mutual funds.
Yep. And as I was getting my coffee, he said, and he's like, tell your dad I'm wearing a pair of 10-year-old blue jeans.
There you go. That's a classic millionaire right there.
So good.
James and Katie are in Ocean City, New Jersey. What's you guys' net worth?
Hey, Dave and Rachel. Our net worth is $1,030,000.
Awesome. You did it. Cool.
We did it.
Love it. How old are you guys?
I'm 46.
And I'm 41.
Good. You're young millionaires. How much of the $1,030,000 was inherited?
Zero.
Okay. Nice. Cool. And what has been your range of income since you guys started working, got married? What best year household income, worst year household income?
So in 2008, we made $30,000, and then in 2021 we made $548,000.
There's that. What do you guys do for a living?
We're in real estate.
Okay. As brokers or investors?
Brokers.
Okay. Do you have 4-year degrees?
I do. I have a 4-year degree.
In what?
In biblical studies.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Which always sets you up to be a real estate broker, right? Okay.
Exactly. Right. Uh-huh.
And you do not?
I don't.
What was your GPA in college, Katie?
It was like 3.6.
Good. Okay. So break the million down for me. How is that invested? What's it in?
So between our Roth and SEP is about $200K, cash $325, our home $425, and then our vehicles, a little piece of land, and $529.
Okay. So it sounds like, listening to what I'm seeing in the numbers of your story, that basically you just earned a big pile of money, paid everything off, and piled up a big pile of cash.
Yeah. In June of 2022, we did our debt-free screen. So that 2021, 22 in real estate, the numbers really jumped up, and we had a couple really strong years.
That's so good. Was the debt-free screen the house and everything?
Yes.
So what would you say to someone that's like, they're on their journey, maybe they've paid off all their consumer debt, they're working on the house. How much springboard is it for you guys of not having a house payment? And obviously you're making great income, but how much was paying off that house that really opened up some cash flow that you felt?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not having a mortgage changed everything. We listened to your podcast. It's just weird talking to you because I have like a side hustle business where I clean. And so I was scrubbing toilets, listening to the podcast, keeping my heart and my mind centered on why we were doing this and just working really hard to pay off debt and pay off our house. And not having that mortgage is huge.
Man.
It's amazing, you guys.
I want to go on a soapbox rant right now. The millionaire toilet scrubber. Meanwhile, you have people sitting around in their mother's basement whining and saying that America is broken and they can't do anything, while Katie goes and makes you guys bust your butts and clean up literally and then clean up figuratively. That's that's fabulous. I'm so proud of y'all. And now you don't do that anymore, right? You hire other people to do it, right?
I do. Yeah. I have a great
That's what I do.
crew. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. God told me I don't have to cut any grass anymore. I cut enough grass in the first 20 years of my life to have I got my whole quota in for my whole life. It was great. Yeah. It's the same thing, right? So, oh my gosh, you guys are incredible. I'm so proud of you. Okay. I know you guys are extra hustlers and in a good way, hustle and grind. But talk to the people out there who think it can't be done anymore. Can it?
Yeah, absolutely. I did not go to college. I barely made it out of high school. But I did. We took FPU. We led 4 FPUs, and I'm taking the financial coach master training right now. So there's definitely, it can be done. I never really planned on it or thought we would hit that mark. I just started doing the numbers and said to Kate, like, oh, we're there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you guys drunk all the Kool-Aid, man. I mean, thank you.
We did.
Thank you. I like it. And look at what it got you. That's what's cool. So, hey, very proud of you guys. Congratulations, heroes. You did it. I love talking to somebody who cleaned enough toilets that they never have to clean another toilet.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Well, it's just the hard work and the idea of, hey, I'm going to go do a side hustle while we're doing real estate as well. I mean, all of it together was just phenomenal. So well done, guys.
Nathan in Northfield, Minnesota. What's your net worth?
Hello, Dave. My net worth is $1.3 million.
Cool. How old are you?
44, and my wife is 43.
Very good. Another young millionaire. How much of this did you inherit?
I inherited $1,000 last year when my grandmother died.
Well, that made a big difference.
Yep.
Okay. Let me write down $1,000. All right. So
that's right.
What has been your household income best year and worst year since you all began working and began life?
Worst year was about $30,000. Best year was $240,000.
Excellent. Now, give me a little breakdown on the 1.3. How's it broken up?
All right. On the 1.3, our house is about $500,000. We own a commercial lot that we have not put a building on yet at about $100,000. Retirement accounts, we have about $330,000. In business, we're in construction and landscaping, so we have quite a bit of trucks and equipment. So we got about $250,000 of paid for equipment. And then we have $120,000 of cash, $529 emergency fund, personal vehicles, that type of stuff.
Way to go. Excellent. So you own a construction and landscape business?
Yes. Yep. I run the construction side, and my wife runs the landscape side. Yep.
Got it.
Awesome.
You got 4-year degrees?
We do not. We both went to the local technical school. I went for a 1-year program in meat cutting, and my wife went to the landscape program they had, and that was a 2-year program at that time.
In meat cutting?
Yes, I know.
It took a year?
Were you going to be a butcher? What was the thing?
Yes. Yeah, I thought about doing that. I worked in that industry for about a year, and then I decided I wanted to stick with construction. Yep.
I bet you can field dress a deer.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I actually slaughtered my own beef about 2 weeks ago at my own property here. So, yep.
I love it. What was your GPA or her GPA?
Mine was 3.97. But again, it's meat cutting.
Meat cutting, almost a
4.0. And then my wife, I think, was like a 3.7, she said.
All right. Very good. Okay, cool.
Oh,
cool.
So
congratulations, man. When did you look up and realize, gosh, we're millionaires?
So we came to our debt-free screen when you were at the old building. That was in 2018. So this was 2 years ago, like 2020, we became millionaires. We were 42 and 41. And it was just kind of a progression after paying. Let's be honest, after you pay your house off, it happens fast after that.
Yeah, because you got cash flow.
Yep, exactly.
We always say your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. Well, when you pay your freaking house off, you see that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really legitimate. So you guys are kind of baby steps millionaires in a sense. You followed this stuff.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, we took FPU originally in, I believe it was 2003. And then we taught FPU at our church from 2005 up till about 2020, just a couple of years ago. And we ran out of students, shall we say, at our church, and we decided that was enough for a little while. At least let it recoup for a few years and see if we pick it up again.
Thank you. Thanks for leading the class. And hey, man, you're a hero.
Congratulations,
you did it, man.
Nathan.
Way to go. Dadgum. 44-year-old millionaires. I love this.
So good.
It's a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. We're talking to real millionaires. Mike Rowe will love the meat cutter millionaire story. He will love it when I tell him that. This is The Ramsey Show.
We talk about wealth here a lot, and it is about changing your family tree. It's about leaving a legacy, but it's also about giving like no one else. And that's a big part of this money message, that you want to be able to win with money, obviously for your present and for your future self and family, but also to help others. So there was a fun story that we came across, and there was a waiter, Jordan, I guess the restaurant is Charleston's in West Omaha. And he came in for work and heard that he'd be serving a party of 18 people on his March 7th shift. And he greeted it with a very upbeat attitude, because he said he likes to wait on large parties because they usually like to have fun and he enjoys it. Well, the group turned out to have pop singer Jason Derulo. I feel like a boomer. I don't know who I feel so out of touch. I'm not sure who he is, but I'm
Rachel,
sure.
you just have to give up your cool card now.
He is great.
He's amazing.
He is amazing because he left a tip at the very end, and he was a great, the whole 18 of his friends and him were wonderful and pleasant, because the waiter, Jordan, was talking about just how kind they were and great. And so at the end of the night, he went and saw that Jason, the pop singer, left a $5,000 tip to this college student, Jordan, their waiter. And
whose tuition was due the next week.
You just gave the best punchline.
I'm sorry. You did the great job with the story. I did a great job with the punchline.
That was the sweetest part of the whole story. His tuition was due like the next day, and the $5,000 covered it. So
there you go.
Jeez. There you go. We're like the kid that's like, oh, I'll tell the punchline of the joke.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's why
awesome.
we work.
That is awesome.
That's why we work. That's why we work. That's why you want to get here, so that you can have that moment. He posted about it, and apparently Jason Derulo posted back.
Derulo, oh.
Yeah. And
keep reading. I threw my paper.
Yeah. So you have to find your paper. You threw it on the floor, but
finish it off.
But yeah, he posted on TikTok, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's fun. So, the mythology is that all wealth is inherited. The mythology is that rich people are all crooks. Have you heard that one? The percentage of rich people that are crooks is about the same percentage of poor people that are crooks. There's just some people that are crooks. But it really doesn't have anything to do with the money. You don't get money by being crooked and keep it long term. I mean, that's the dumbest set of assumptions. Because if you deal with someone and they're a thief, you deal with someone and they don't have integrity and they steal from you. You deal with someone and you go to the car mechanic, he doesn't fix your car and charges you and didn't change out any parts because he's a crook. You don't go back. So you don't get repeat business when you're a crook. You have to start over every time. So being a crook is much more work than creating a good quality service and people come back. It's a lot more work to be a crook because you got to get all new clients all the time. You got to get all new victims all the time. So when you people out there, when you hear people say, all rich people are crooks, see this, all they are is their victim mentality, and they're dealing with two evil spirits called jealousy and envy. Jealousy is I want what you have. Envy is I don't even want you to have it. Not only do I want what you have, but I don't even want you to have what you have. That's envy. And that's what's going around the culture right now that's out of control. All millionaires are entertainers. They're Jason Derulo.
Yeah.
They're all pop stars. They're all country music stars or basketball or football stars or whatever. It's less than 1% of millionaires are household names I know
who Jason is. I know who he is. I get my cool card back.
Let me see it. Oh, yeah. Okay, he's R&B guy.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Totally know who he is.
All right.
Oh, I feel better about my age and where I'm at.
I was worried about you. I thought you were going downhill there.
With current events.
You lost the punchline? I mean, it's been a bad day for you, Rachel.
You took the punchline from me. I didn't lose it.
All right.
Difference.
And the other thing, the other mythology about millionaires is that they're all geniuses. They're all 4.2.
Oh yeah.
They're like rocket surgeons or something. I mean, this kind of stuff. They're not brain surgeons and they're not rocket scientists, either one, right? They're none of this. The vast majority of millionaires have a 3.0 to a 3.5 GPA. Very few of them have a 1 point something. You can't be stupid and become a millionaire. You have to have some brain cells working, but you do not have to be genius level. Okay, you don't have to be brilliant. 4.2. I never saw a 4.2 except on my, when I fill up my car. That's the only time I see 4.2. All right, here we go. Let's go to Crystal in Olivia, Minnesota. Crystal, what's your net worth?
Hi. My net worth and my husband's net worth is $1.3 million.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
How old are you guys?
I'm 36. My husband is 37.
Man, they're getting younger by the call. Okay, cool. And how much of the 1.3 did you guys inherit?
0.
Okay. And give me a little breakdown on the 1.3. What's the categories of it?
We have about $125,000 in cash, $755,000 in retirement accounts. Our house is worth $220,000, and we own that. And then $200,000 in other assets. Like vehicles.
Let me just make sure everybody in America heard that you live as a millionaire in a $220,000 house.
I do. Yes, yeah. We actually bought it for $78,000.
Yeah, that's pretty typical, by the way. But this idea that, oh my God, if I don't have a $400,000, $800,000, $900,000 house, oh my God, that's not you.
No.
So, what was your all's best year household income since you've been working, and worst year?
Worst year, when we first got married, combined income was about $90,000. Our highest year was about $250,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
My husband is a network administrator for a local co-op, and I am a family nurse practitioner who just quit corporate America, and I'm going to start my own clinic.
I like you.
Oh, good for
you. Love it. All right. What was your, you obviously have a nursing degree. What was your GPA?
So my undergrad was 3.2, and my graduate degree was 4.0.
Okay.
Nice.
And your network engineer husband, did he get a 4-year degree?
He got a 2-year degree, and he had a 3.0 GPA.
Okay, there we go. All right. You guys have done this very young. How did you do it? What's the key?
We actually followed all of your steps. To put it into perspective, in 2015, we had a negative net worth of $125,000. We became everyday millionaires in June of 2021.
Wow.
We paid off $147,000 in 17 months. That included our house. Was taught FPU twice. It's just really just living by your principles. It makes it pretty easy, actually. So.
Wow. I'm going to pay you for the commercial. Well done. Well done. Thank you.
Yeah,
FPU,
great,
Baby
Crystal,
Steps
though.
Millionaires. I love it.
And that's a long road. I mean, it's we talk about it too. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, but you
it's being
flipped this.
so
You flipped this in about 8 years from a negative net worth to 1.3.
But the diligence throughout that 8 years, I'm like, it didn't happen in 24 months. So the long game that you guys continue to play, and we're diligent with the steps, diligent with your money, gets this result, which is incredible, absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as we could, as soon as we got out of debt, we tried to max out all of our retirement accounts as much as possible. I got my Rachel Cruz wallet sitting right next to me.
Yeah, girl. So glad.
But yeah, and it was always just kind of like it was kind of like a little goal, right? So our goal was debt free by 33, and we paid off our house 3 days before my husband's 33rd birthday. And then I said, we're going to be millionaires by 35. And he's like, no, we're not going to be able to make it. And I was like, no, we're going to. And by the time I turned 35, we were millionaires.
Love it.
Incredible.
35 and 36 years old. You're a hero, girl. So proud of you for taking control of your life, improving to people all across America. 22 million people just heard you say this story. That's pretty cool. And by the way, her story is real, in case you're wondering. This is a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. Our scripture of the day, James 2:18, but someone will say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. Dale Carnegie said, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Like it. That'll work for me. It's a millionaire, Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. Paying off debt, saving, and investing is smart, but there's one key to winning with money that people overlook, and that's protecting your finances. There's 10 kinds of insurance coverage you might need. If you want to take the coverage checkup tool and use it, it's completely free, and we'll show you what you need by importance and connect you with a Ramsey trusted insurance provider to help you get this insurance in place if you want. It's all free. Takes about 5 minutes. So go to RamseySolutions.com/checkup. RamseySolutions.com/checkup. Eric is in Augusta, Georgia. Eric, what's your net worth?
My net worth is $1.8 million.
Cool. How old are you?
I'm 32. My wife's 28.
Every call they get younger. Okay, this is ridiculous. We're going to have an 18-year-old in a minute. Okay. And how much of the 1.8 did you inherit?
So we didn't inherit any money.
Zero. Okay.
Zero.
And break your 1.8 down by category. Give me a little of the breakdown on it.
So 1.1 million is in real estate, primary home, as well as some rental real estate. About 600 is in mutual funds, Roth IRA, some company stock, as well as some I-bonds, and then 150 in 401k.
Good for you. Give me your best year, household income, working lifetime, and worst year.
So worst year, when we came out, we were together making about 150. We did do a few years of travel nursing, so we were up to about 450 at one point in time. So it's kind of drastic spread there. But during travel,
you're back down to something now, about 300 or what?
Right around the 300 range now. We just moved back home. We got a baby due coming up, so we finally decided to come home and get settled down.
Are you both nurses?
We are both nurses, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. So you got nursing degrees. What was your GPA in your nursing degrees?
My GPA was around a 3.2, 3.3. My wife's was higher, 3.9.
Okay. Cool. So travel nursing coming off of a pandemic, were you guys in the middle of that? Travel nursing?
We were doing travel nursing about a year before COVID hit, and then we traveled through it, and up until about a month or two ago.
Was that scary?
Wow. It was, it was different. It was a very different world in the hospital during that period of time, for sure.
Were you all scared?
We were not personally, but I know a lot of people around us were. We've traveled all throughout the Southeast, so different areas respond very differently to COVID during that time. So,
Well, thanks for y'all's work during that time. I know healthcare workers, it was a lot on you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was. We went out, the Ramsey team, one morning, and right in the middle of all of that, and went up to the local hospital. There's a gas station in front, and pumped gas for all of them. Bought everybody a tank of gas that had scrubs on, and man, you could see the strain in their eyes.
Yeah, that period was a lot. During those few years, was a lot of things seen that a lot of people, even in the field, haven't experienced. So it was hard during those periods.
Yeah,
a couple of years.
Yeah, it's like a vacation now compared. Yeah,
that's right. Yes, definitely.
And a new baby on the way. Congratulations.
New baby due 2 days from now.
Oh my gosh!
Friday.
Enjoy your sleep tonight.
So what do you? What do you tell people? Can they still do it today?
Yes, definitely can still do it today. Things are a little bit more expensive, so I think it's a little bit harder to get there. But hard work pays off. So if you're motivated by it, you can definitely still get there today.
Proud of you, hero. In a bunch of different ways, you're heroes. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Laura is in Tampa. Laura, your net worth?
$34 million.
Well, look at that. Nice. Good for you. How old are you, Laura?
I am 49 years old.
Good for you. Okay, give me a little breakdown. I'm curious. That's a great net worth.
So I've got $14 million in real estate assets, and then $20 million in my business asset if I sold my business today.
Gotcha. What kind of business have you got?
I'm a franchisor of a disaster restoration concept.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Excellent. How much of this did you inherit?
0.
Wow. Dug it out with your fingers, huh?
Literally, yeah. I started out as a $28,000 a year police officer 20-some years ago, and then decided poverty wasn't for me, so I started my company when I was 31 years old.
Dang.
I love that. I just decided I don't like poverty, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
That's really what it is. It's a choice. It really is.
Well, apparently, yeah.
It's really good.
All right, so the real estate came from the fact that you made so much money in the business.
Yeah, correct.
And then you made more money on the real estate after buying it.
Yeah, and I kept a bunch of rentals. I got about 13 or 14 rentals right now. And if the business went down the tubes tomorrow, I could live off the rentals forever.
Yeah, $14 million. I think you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless $12 million's your house, I don't know. But yeah, what's your personal residence worth?
It's worth about 1.5, and I owe about $450,000 on it.
Why? Pay it off. Okay, and the and the do you have another house? Do you have a toy house, a vacation or something, beach or mountain?
No, I don't. All investment.
No toy houses. Okay, you need to get one of those too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
All right. So, what's your dream on that? A mountain or a beach or a lake or what?
A mountain. I'm at the beach right now, so we're living in Florida, so mountain would be the way to go for me.
Yeah, it'd be perfect, awesome. Like Highlands of North Carolina or something. Yeah. Good for you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
How did you grow up, Laura? Was poverty part of your story?
A little bit, middle class, but once I got to college, I was actually on food stamps just to get through college. My loans didn't cover enough to pay my living and my school, my books, all that stuff. So I had a couple jobs, and I was on food stamps for a while. So it's very surreal to be in the position I'm in now.
Yeah.
I take it from the language you're using that you're single.
Yes.
Okay. Always single?
No, I'm divorced.
Okay. How long ago?
4 or 5 years.
Oh, wow. Fairly recent. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this all survived that?
Well, I have a great lawyer.
Apparently. Yeah.
And good prenup. Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. Because you're a warrior. I mean, you're an Amazon woman for sure. It's amazing. You're impressive. I love it.
Thank you.
Best net worth call in, highest net worth in the last several of these shows. We had one that was $55 million one time, and
oh wow,
that kind of stuff. But the guy owned a bunch of restaurants, and
nice.
we've had a few others. But you're a rock star. I mean, you're amazing. You can't say rock star anymore after that dadgum Super Bowl commercial. But but yeah, you're amazing. Thank you. You're incredible.
Thank you.
All right, tell your 49-year-old lady that's divorced and you're worth $34 million. Tell a 24-year-old lady out there who's struggling and scared that she can do it.
Oh, absolutely. In my opinion, I know other people probably disagree with me. I think it's easier now than it was back then, just because of the internet and all of the ability for affiliate marketing businesses. And there's just so much more opportunity now than there was when I was first starting.
I agree. It is probably the best time in the history of the world right now.
I couldn't agree.
To start a business and run a business and take a service to market, a product to market that serves people, and the wealth that can be gotten because of that in the process of helping people. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
I mean, selling books on the internet is a lot easier than selling them through bookstores.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot easier because sometimes bookstores are stupid. Yeah. It's a wonderful time. I agree. Love that advice, and I love that encouragement.
Great job, Laura.
Laura, you're amazing. Thank you for calling in. A Baby Steps Millionaires Theme Hour. That puts a little icing on the cake with Miss Laura.
I know. That was a great call to end it. Well done.
Any other questions out there? I think we just answered them all. You can do it. You can do it. You're not a victim. Laura wasn't a victim. Never was that woman a victim. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.